Hello Magic fans, I'm Beef and welcome back as we continue our exploration into the Explorer format, this time with a mono black discard deck focusing around Waste Not. Waste Not is a 2-mana enchantment that has a whole bunch of text and it says whenever an opponent discards a creature card, we create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. Whenever an opponent discards a land card, we add 2 black, and whenever an opponent discards a non-creature non-land card, we draw a card. So obviously we want to cause our opponents to discard and get a lot of value from it. Now this is nowhere near as powerful as the Mono Green Devotion and Angels deck, and one of the problems with discard based decks is, one, if you don't draw discard, you don't do anything, but that's a case with all decks if you don't draw what your deck's meant to do. But the problem is, if you actually draw and you kind of draw too much discard, you end up your opponent discards their entire hand and then your discard doesn't do anything, so you don't get any value from Waste Not. But let's quickly go through our deck. First of all, we have the discard cards with Hopeless Nightmare, 1 mana enchantment. When it ECBs, each opponent discards a card and lose life, and then we can pay 3 to sack it, and then say whenever it's put into graveyard from battlefield, we scry 2. Then we have 4 copies of Thoughtseize. Target opponent reveals their hand, choose a non-land card from it, that plays the size of the card, we lose 2 life. We also have 3 copies of Bandit's Talent, which we have played on this channel before. When it ETBs, each opponent discards 2 cards unless they discard a non-land card, and then we can pay 1 to level it up to 2, and that says at the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, if that player has 1 or fewer cards in hand, they lose 2 life, and then we can pay 4 to level it up to level 3. So at the beginning of our draw set, we draw an additional card for each opponent who has 1 or fewer cards in hand. We also have 2 copies of Go Blank. Target player discards 2 cards, then exile that player's graveyard. So these are great ways to trigger Waste Not. And then finally we have 2 copies of Tergrid, God of Fright / Tergrid's Lantern. We do play Tergrid's Lantern more often. It's a 4-mana artifact. We can tap it, target player loses 3 life unless they sacrifice a non-land permanent or discard a card, and we can pay 4 to untap Tergrid's Lantern. So if we have a lot of mana, we can do this multiple times each turn, and obviously causing our opponent to lose 3 unless they sack a non-land or discard a card is quite powerful. And Tergrid, the font size, is very powerful as well. It's a 3-mana 4/5 with Menace. It says when an opponent sacrifices a non-token permanent or discards a permanent card, you may put that card from a battlefield from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. So if we have Tergrid down and we hit him with a Thoughtseize or a Go Blank or a Liliana can obviously cause players to discard, we get the permanent cards that they discard. Now Tergrid on paper is incredibly powerful. In reality, she is powerful, but not that powerful, just because at 5 mana she's at the top of our curve, and we need A, to have discard cards in our hand, and B, our opponent to have cards in their hand to discard, which is why she is not as powerful as she looks first up. Now, rounding that deck, we basically have removal, 4 copies of Fatal Push, destroy target creatures, mana value 2 or less, and we have Revolt, which means if a permanent we control left the battle for this turn, destroy that creature who has mana value 4 or less. 2 copies of March of Wretched Sorrow, 1 X and a black. Additional cost to cast a spell, we may exile any number of black cards from our hand. This spell costs 2 less to cast each mana for each card exiled this way, and then the March deals X damage to target creature, planeswalker, and we gain X life. 2 copies of Children's Edict, causing our opponent to sacrifice a non-token creature, a creature token, or a planeswalker. 2 copies of Meat Massacre, which is our sweeper of choice. 2 black and an X. When it comes down, each creature gets -X, so we can wipe our opponent's board and our board as well, but mostly our opponent's. And it says whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life, and whenever a creature an opponent control dies, we gain 1 life. And then just 3 copies of Sheoldred, because Sheoldred is an incredibly powerful card. Mana base, obviously mono black, a lot of swamps. The only real card you may have not seen before is Gaia Reach Sanitarium. It's a legendary land that taps for colourless, and we can pay 2 and tap it. Each player discards card, draws a card, then discards a card. Obviously, this is great with Tergrid, great with Waste Not, especially if our opponent has no cards in hand. Just cause them to draw and discard will definitely trigger something. So that's the deck. As I said, it's not as powerful as Mono Green Devotion or Angels. It is more an annoying deck. You are hoping your opponent scoops before they can stabilise, because if you just cause your opponent to discard their entire hand, most people will just give up playing. But I had a great time playing it. I hope you all enjoy watching it. If you do, please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in my gameplay. On the draw, but we've got an okay hand. We've got obviously some hand disruption and then quite a bit of removal. Missing a waste knot though. They mulligan down to 6. So they're on a Convoke deck. We can go blank them. They just get 2 creatures. Could do with another land. There he is, there's Sheldred. Oh, let's just play out Hopeless Nightmare then. I know obviously they don't have anything, but we can sack the other one. To scry. Wouldn't mind finding out 1 copy of Meat Hut Massacre. I'll keep the Castle Lochthwain so we can play Tergrid. Or do we play it out on Tergrid's Lantern? Yeah, it seems they got every just tokens on the battlefield. Do they attack to draw? They do. Gonna swing in. Oh, I did that now so that they wouldn't be able to draw with the wedding announcement. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We can play both of these. That was the wrong button.
Happy to help, but I'm taking the credit. You won't be outsmarting me.
Wow. All the lands.
Drop it.
We'll put them up to 6. I obviously don't mind if they take out a Liliana.
Fine. I know when I'm not wanted.
What else do they have in hand? That's why we waited to the last minute to cast Shoulder's Edict, because I expected them to have something like that, or Resolute Reinforcements. Wow. Well, we have the Waste Knot into Go Blank. And as much as it pains me to put Shouldered back, let's just Thoughtseize, and then we can Fatal Push. I'm going to take the Giada because it's their ramp. Let's swing in. Interesting to see what they do actually discard. We can take out the Giada. Let's just take out their Giada now. X equals 2. And swing in. So there are a few lands away from being able to buff Resplendent Angel. Well, let's see what they do.
Something suspicious is going on. And for what? Wow. One of your friends has to leave.
If they draw a land, they can buff the Resplendent Angel, which is going to be a bit annoying. It's not a land, that's good. They can take out Sheldred.
Whatever. Luck favors the foolish.
Not Sheldred, Liliana. Yeah, I thought they wouldn't chump. But at 4, down to 2 against a mono black deck, you really should chump. I guess they were relying on drawing that land to give the Spent Angel +2/+2 and lifelink, which would have probably put the game beyond us. But luckily they didn't draw it. You're on the play with a couple of discard, bits of removal, and obviously waste not. I imagine this gets cancelled. Oh, it does not. Oh, it's a mill deck. Well, let us talent. Sure.
Surrender your mind to Phyrexia's will. No secret escapes my grasp.
So let's play out Tergrid's Lantern. I imagine they have another Jace.
The knowledge required is still valid.
Let's see what they do. We may just be dead though through mill.
I've already read your thoughts. You won't stop us. Surrender every last thought to Phyrexia.
Let's power this up. Because then we just had lethal. Yeah. We are on the play with a Mia Massacre, which we don't often see. It's a bit slow, but we can waste not into go blank. So fingers crossed that works out for us. Mia Massacre looks like it could do some damage. If we can survive long enough to actually cast it. Well, we can get him to discard 2. Maybe get some blockers. That's actually pretty good. I'm fairly sure they can't hit us for 12. And obviously now I can just meat hook for 2. But, oh, I can't. Ah, that's actually a mistake. Now we are going to have to jump, unfortunately. Well, Always good redrawing the card you just lost. Fortunately, I don't have anything instant speed. Yeah, if that... Obviously, he didn't have a creature in hand, but if they did, if that was an untapped land, we could have Liliana'd and gotten to discard and hope they didn't draw into a haste creature they could put the ruckus on. We are on the play, well, with a lot of discard. So let's see what they have. We do need more black mana. They're on Mono Green Devotion. It means they can't cast Vivian this turn. They are going to start hitting us for a bit. I really need hit removal for that Trailblazer. That isn't it, unfortunately. This isn't it. Oh, yes it is. That was very, very, very lucky. On the play with not the fastest hand, but we'll give it a go. We do have removal. Obviously Liliana's very, very powerful. Well, that's not what we really wanted to see. If I was them, I'll take the Liliana. They're thinking about it. They keep hovering over land as well. Yeah. Oh, let's get down Hive then. There's no point taking out Cold and Familiar just because they'll be able to get it back with Scavenger's Talent. Next turn we can Tergrid, and if it survives, obviously Thoughtseize. Well, they've got a proper combo going on. I reckon they have removal, but you know, got to make them use it. If they don't, next time we can Liliana and Thoughtseize. They can't Fatal Push Tergrid. Fatal Push only works on mana value 2 or less or 4 or less if they have Revolt. Well, let's Thoughtseize. We'll take their Fable. And we Thoughtseize again, taking their Deadly Dispute. And then we get down Liliana, make them sacrifice. It will be the Harvester. It would grow the Egra, but then we could just block the Egra with the Goblin Shaman token.